So just hanging out, talking. What's today?
Today is Tuesday the 12th
March.
of March.
Hottest thing in our world right now is what?
Coronavirus.
CVRN 978-62319. Right? Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
19, yeah.
What do you think?
Well, there's a lot of considerations when we're looking at coronavirus, right? I mean, there's mass hysteria with supplies, with people now shutting themselves indoors. And what does that look like when you sell your property, your personal property, or your real estate?
Wait a minute. So you mean we still got to sell property even though the coronavirus is happening?
Well, yeah, because there's still a need out there, right? There's still people who have a need, who estates need to be liquidated. Attorneys still need to have those properties off their books. Trustees need to have them off their books. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, life still got to go on, and we got to figure it out. We got to figure out the best way to deal with this situation that we're put in, and how to maximize it for our clients. And that's
well, yeah, and let's get real talk here. So, like you said, it's not life's not going to stop because of the coronavirus, unless of course you have it and you die, then it stops. But even worse, if it does get bad and there is a lot of deaths, how to deal with that? Which I think that's a whole nother conversation.
right.
But right now, the normal rate of people just dying and having items to sell is still going to happen. Like the same rate before coronavirus hit the United States of estate auctions and things to sell is the same rate that it is today as it was yesterday.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. We're not gonna.
Like that's not.
Let's hope. How about this? Let's hope we don't see this huge explosion of estates need to be liquidated. Okay,
right.
Let's hope for that. We don't want that to
Yeah.
happen, but we have to be realistic and say, okay, so how do we maneuver within this new space, right? And I think the way you maneuver is like what everybody else is still doing, which is staying home. They're not going to be out there buying. So what does that mean for like estate sale companies?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So if you're in a estate sale company, you got to be freaking out right now.
I mean, I would be, right? Just like the airline companies are freaking out right now because they don't have passengers. Well, if you don't have passengers, you don't have revenue. If you don't have revenue, you go bankrupt, and then you simply as a company die. Well, I mean, those estate sale companies, they need those local people to come to their place of business, which is that estate, and bring cash money, which is another thing that we probably shouldn't be passing around readily, which is, ha ha ha, here's your money in here, coins and currency. So yeah, I think it's an interesting, thing that we need to take a look at.
Well, something to think about, guys. I tell you, if you're going to win, and if you have things to sell, and you're still going to figure out how to liquidate that asset or turn that asset into cash, you have to know what the market is doing, and there's so many external threats that you cannot even begin to compete with, like the coronavirus. It is going to have effect on value. If you still have to liquidate that property, for example, it's in probate, it's coming out of probate, we've got to sell this piece of property, let's do it online. Let's do it in the safest way possible. Let's do it in the most secure and to put buyers' minds at ease. We don't have to have 150 people gathered around inside the house, coughing, etc. Let's put it online, and people can stay home in the comfort of their own home. And as we schedule pickups for personal property, for example, we're taking a look at what that looks like. How many people is there on site at any given time to limit more than 4 or 5 people at any given time. You're not going to show up at one of our after one of our events, and there's 150 people
Lined
gathered
up.
around, lined up, so you have to expose yourself or your kids to that. So it's just JD and Natalie's thoughts on the coronavirus, how it's affecting the market right now. Hopefully this is informative. If you like this information, make sure you hit subscribe below and share this video with someone. Hopefully it'll help them.